Something we often want to do with photos in our leaflet is to cut them out so that the candidate appears as a cutout head and shoulders, like this example here. You can do this in Affinity Publisher using the pen tool, first of all, on the left-hand side here. So if I just zoom in on this photo here, and we want to do a head and shoulders cutout of the candidate. If I click on the pen tool, what I then need to do is to choose where on the photo I want to start my cutout. So I'm going to start here on the shoulder. If I just click once there, you'll see that a square node will appear. If I then click on the next spot further up the arm here, you'll see that creates a second node joined onto the first one. And if I just keep clicking, I'll do it very roughly in this example, but if I just keep clicking round the image here and around the top of the head, what I'm doing is I'm drawing a shape that is the shape of the cutout we want of this photo. Okay, and don't worry too much about bits of hair that are flicking out there because you can tidy that up later. Okay, if I then hold down Shift at this point, you'll see a yellow line appears because it's letting me join it up in a straight line across the page. And the final thing I just need to do here is click on the first node again to make sure that the shape is joined up all the way around the section of the photo that we want to crop into that shape. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to tell Publisher that we want the photo to be cropped within that shape. To do that, we go to the Layers tab here on your Studio tabs on the left-hand side, and you'll see that the Layers tab lists every different item that appears in your leaflet as an individual item. If I click on the photo here, you'll see that the photo is now selected with a blue background. What I then need to do is if I click on the photo here and click and drag it upwards over the description of the cutout, which in this case is curve, you'll see what it's done is it has cropped the photo within that shape. It's really important here that you do it over the word curve rather than over the small image of the cutout shape, because that won't work. Okay, so if I hover over curve and then let go of my mouse, you'll see we've now got the photo cropped within that shape. And I'll just remove the red line there so that we can see it more clearly. Now, obviously, this is a relatively rough cutout that I've done. If you want to tidy up your cutout, if I select the shape with the photo within it here and go to the left-hand side and select the node tool here, you'll see what then happens is all of the individual nodes that we drew as we were drawing that shape have reappeared. And what I can do is I can click and drag on those nodes, and you'll see it brings in more or less of the photo depending on which way I drag it. I can also double click anywhere on the line of the shape and it'll create an extra node, which can be useful just in terms of tidying up your cutout. And there you have a relatively good cutout to go on your leaflet of your candidate.